It's a beautiful Sunday, November 16th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful, award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. And the Oklahoma Sooners are 8-2, and everything is on the table, Ted.
Wow. Just a couple of big time football games from this team, going on the road, beating Tennessee, getting it done against Alabama, making the plays you had to make late. I mean, it was that one was intense and a lot of fun. And hey, credit these guys, right? I saw it a lot in the comments. Winning is a skill, Gabe.
Winning is a skill, and they are hard to kill.
Hard to kill, man.
Those shirts were awesome. We got to acquire. We got to talk to some people and acquire a couple of those shirts for us, you know?
No doubt.
But what a performance by OU's defense and then by OU's special teams. And we'll get to the offense, but we talk about it on here all the time, man. If you win two of the three phases, you usually have a very, very good chance of winning the game. And that's exactly what they did. OU had the better defense on the field, and OU had better special teams. And ultimately, Ted, that was the difference in them walking out of Tuscaloosa with the win.
Yep, no doubt. I mean, and that was a big talking point going into it. A must. I had it on my keys to the game, on the radio broadcast. Must win special teams, right? And we did in a big way. Taylor Wine had the got the hand on that field goal. Don't know if he would have made it anyways. It spun it. It put that left-handed spin whenever, I come across it on the golf courses, and it veered off to the left. Forced a fumble on the punt return. Cover units were really, really good. Pinned them deep late with a nice punt. All in all, special teams were a huge factor, and I almost forgot another 50-plus yard field goal by Sandell. He remains to be excellent.
He's the first kicker that's selling a shirt where I'm like, I want that shirt.
That's right.
Did you see it? Our friends at Opolis are selling the Sandell. I believe what is it? Short shorts, long kicks.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
You can use promo code TED for 10% off of that bad boy. Go support Tate Sandell. That's awesome. He deserves it. He's been, let's just be real, he's been the best kicker in America. There's just no debating that. He's been incredible for this team.
Easily the best kicker in America right now. And it's a weapon. It's one of the things we talked about in the offseason. You look at the schedule, the gauntlet we're going through, going to be in a bunch of one-score games. Field goal kicker is going to be incredibly important, which, made a lot of us nervous. I love it.
There's the shirt.
Long kicks.
Short shorts, long kicks.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Go support Sandell and buy that shirt, people. But yeah, let's jump into the defense, man, because I think in particular that second half, when you consider the talent at the quarterback position and at the skill spots for this Bama team, especially wide receiver, that is one of the best stretches of defense I've seen from this team, from this program in a very long time. And that was what elite defense looks like.
No doubt. No doubt. And we started hot. We came out of the gates ready to play and did some really good things early. It took them 27 snaps to score, which, that's for that offense. That's a lot of football. Let's talk through. I guess let's hit some of the negative things that were out there. We had some trouble with the dig routes, right? In the hook area, just right around the hashes, in between the hash and numbers. There was one where they had a bait route up in front. You run the little short route. Hook player jumps up and the deep dig is in behind it. They got us on one of those. Then they had another one where, you got two guys. Inside guy runs like kind of a post or a deep crosser, and then the dig, it's kind of a follow is what I call it. And the deep crosser affected the hook player there, pulled him inside, and they hit the dig on the outside. Um, and here's the thing. You got to understand, like a lot of these plays, the coverage is not bad, but you have an excellent throw and excellent route concepts and really good wide receivers. They got us on a dig versus quarters. So whenever you've got quarters, you got four deep, right? The three underneath players are going to match the inside wide receivers really tight. So you don't get a lot of position help on the dig area. So what happens is if you got a 2-by-2 formation, you got four deep, you got two up the field. As soon as there's a dig, the inside guy has to drive it. So you've got four verticals. And then if there's a dig, you got to come off that and drive. And it's they pressure you a lot with the vertical, with the wideouts that they got. You're always worried about the deep ball. So we're just a little bit late on some of those digs in quarters. But all in all, it's not bad. A lot of them are, it's a good throw, it's a good catch, and it's a tackle. First down, but you don't give up the deep ball over the top. Um, we got to talk about this. They hit us on the tight end hide route a couple of times. All right. And we saw it against Ole Miss. We saw it against Tennessee. It's becoming a recurring theme. Well, and this, we know that it's a recurring theme, right? So defensively, we've got our antennas up for it. So what does Alabama do? Do they just run your traditional hide route? No. The first one, I didn't catch it on the broadcast. I think maybe you were wondering if it was legit. Ty Simpson stumbles coming from under center. The running back falls and rolls on the ground. So whenever you see that chaos in the backfield, everyone on defense freezes for a second, right? And in that mix, in that chaos where everyone kind of freezes, tight end hides right on the line of scrimmage and runs the wheel route back up the sideline, and they hit us on it. I mean, it's just a good play, right? What are you going to say? Like, you've got to see the guy hiding amid the
Deception.
chaos.
I call deception.
Letter to the SEC coming shortly.
I want a letter. It was deceptive. They pretended like they were falling down. That was actually, you go and watch the film. They execute the fake fall very, very well. I mean, that's just one where you go, hey, you got us. Nice.
And it's funny to think about. All it takes is defensively, there's the snap, you're locked in, and then a little freeze, and then you're back in. That's all it takes, right? It's just to lose that focus for a half of a second. The other tight end high route, they hit it on for a touchdown, a long touchdown. There's a lot of gamesmanship going on at the line of scrimmage. You could see it. We won a lot of the battles, and they won a couple of them. They huddle, they get to the line quickly, and then they're waiting. There's a wait. Like, we show a blitz, they go to the sideline, they change the play, then we change the play. Well, on the second hide route, the touchdown, they get up there to the ball, right? They fake snap it. Offensive line stands up. Wide receivers look to the sideline. Key point in this, right? What do we see in the Tennessee game that we'd never seen? If you are on the line of scrimmage, you cannot turn your shoulders to your sideline and snap the ball, right? So they get up there, they snap, they hard clap, offensive line stands up, receivers are turned and looking to the sideline, and boom, Ty Simpson hits it with another clap. Our guys are looking at our sideline, we're adjusting plays, and here comes the hide route. All it takes is that quick, second where you're not focused, hide coming across, and they hit it on the long touchdown. That was a really good play by them.
And not a penalty, by the way.
Not a penalty.
Not a penalty because their wide receivers that were on the line of scrimmage kept their shoulders square and only turned their heads to look at. That's having a good understanding of the rules, and I'm sure that they let the refs know pregame that they were going to do that.
Yep. They get down into the red zone, and we have the interception in the end zone, right? But it's called back for a pass interference. The frustrating thing about that is we hook the receiver, but you don't even need to. It's interception all the way. I mean, the safety in the middle reads it. Robert Spears-Jennings comes up, easy interception, and we're going the other direction, but called back for pass interference. That was frustrating. They hit a deep ball on us, end over. Okay, so it's trips to the right, and they've got no eligible receiver on the opposite side, and we're in cover 3. So they run verticals on us in the outside corner, midpoints between the number 1 and number 2 receiver. You don't have any eligible on the other side. You don't need to midpoint it. We can stay right over the top of that guy. And so we're midpointed. They throw it outside, and Peyton Bowen thinks he has an interception. He's going to make the catch on the interception, and they catch it right in front of him for an explosive in the pass game. So they got us on that one. We were close to making a big play there. If he would have, it's hard. Like, he's trying to make a play there, but if he goes and plays the ball in the receiver, he can probably break it up. They had a 28-yard run on us. For the most part, we were really good against the run. They got some stuff on the outside. Ty Simpson kept it on a naked once and picked up a decent chunk. But on the 28-yard run, it's dead play. Outside support guy comes in, and there's a gaping hole, and he gets baited by it and thinks, I can go make the play. He ends up being on the wrong side of it, cuts off his linebacker, and it gets out, and it's out the gate for a 28-yard run. They threw a good fade ball down their sideline on us. It's just a really good throw and catch. In coverage, I think our feet could have been a little bit better. Looked like we weren't expecting the deep ball, so we were a little bit frozen in our pedal, and they end up getting a step. Excellent ball. And that was another explosive. That is pretty much the majority of the bad. We had a couple of missed tackles in the middle of the field where we lost leverage on a guy and they picked up a first down. There were some competitive throw and catches where, there wasn't a bust. It was just a good throw, good catch, and they got a couple yards. But all in all, it was really good. Those 2 hide plays were big. Oh, and the hurdle on the sideline, I mean, it's just a really good play, right? We got him dead for no gain, maybe even a tackle for loss. We're flying up to the flat to make a big hit. We go low, which you expect on a DB on a tight end. And he almost blind hurdles the guy. Catches it, turns upfield, hurdles immediately. And that turned into a pretty big play for him. But all in all, pretty good. Some of the really nice plays. The pick 6, really good. Great read on the ball. Safety comes down and affects it. He's going to blow up the wide receiver as the ball gets there as well. And I love the effort down the field to get blocks. Owen Heineke's the backside hook player. He comes across and then goes all the way down and gets the only guy that's going to be able to make the play coming across the field, the speed guy. The O-linemen weren't going to be able to do it, so Loved the effort by all the guys getting downfield, making blocks. I mentioned it took them 27 snaps before they scored. And, I think one of the factors in that second quarter was how much we were on the field. I don't know exactly what the time of possession numbers were in the first half. I may have had it somewhere, but it was like 44 snaps to 21 or something like that. It was or 47 to 27. It was they almost doubled us up in snaps. So I think we ran out of gas with our pass rush in the second quarter. Um, the coverage on the sack fumble, Taylor Wine comes off, really nice play, beats the tackle, blows up Ty Simpson, ball goes flying. We're bringing guys from the defensive left, and we're dropping out on the right, and the coverage is excellent. If you watch it, Ty Simpson, he's hitching because PJ, as a down defensive end, drops way back, gets his eyes outside, sees it's a dig route, filters into the middle. Ty Simpson wanted the dig, but he had to wait and wait for that dig to clear PJ, and he hitches it and gets blown up. So great coverage downfield on that play. I thought that was excellent. He may have had Ryan Williams down the sideline. We had, I think Cortland Guillory was turning and running. It would have had to have been a perfect ball, but the coverage made him wait. Really good stuff there. And the final possession, excellent. The disguise, the movement up front. I thought we had a bunch of really good rushes throughout the night, but a lot of the disguise created some really good one-on-ones. We destroyed the running backs in protection. Anytime they had a clear one-on-one with a linebacker or a defensive back, we whipped their ass. And that sack by Jordan, like watching that play for like 30 seconds, the chess match before all of the movement that's happening. And I remember on the broadcast, they were like, sack was Devon Jordan. It's like, where did he come from? It's like we had like all of these defensive linemen moving around, and he just comes whipping right off the number 2 receiver, back steps up in protection, gets whipped, run right through for an awesome sack. I thought this was interesting. The final drive, we had a great punt, right? Special teams pins them on the 6-yard line. The deep punt just checks up right there. Excellent job. Do you know when they took possession of the ball?
It was like 5 something minutes, wasn't it?
7:14 left in the fourth quarter.
It
7:14. And they had 13 plays and went 42 yards. It was weird how it happened because it looked like Kalen DeBoer wanted that to be the last. They ran the ball a bunch, and the clock's rolling. It's just rolling. And then, they give up a sack. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like we wanted this. Now it is the last possession. And they transitioned almost from like a 4-minute offense style to a desperation drive.
I personally, as it was unfolding, and we talked about it on the broadcast, I thought they completely mismanaged the clock there.
I agree.
Especially with how our offense had struggled all day long. Essentially, I have no idea why they weren't operating with a sense of urgency, trying to get as many possessions as they possibly could the rest of the game. I thought the way that they operated late made no sense to me at all.
Yeah. It was shocking because I was sitting there thinking about, I was like, was there 2 possessions late? Was the sack by Jordan on, like, did we force a punt there? And I went back to it and I'm like, no, it was all one drive. 7:14 is when they took possession. And Kip Lewis has a big sack. Jordan had the sack. Peyton Bowen on the fourth down. I don't think he would have got it, but I mean, goes down to the ground and deflects that ball. Just an excellent job. Coverage was really good. And on that drive, there was a 3rd and 2. Okay. And on the inside of it, it was an excellent play where David Stone whips Brailsford, their best player on the offensive line. Boom, stones him, throws him to the ground, and makes a tackle, no gain on a 3rd and 2. And that's when they ran the reverse to 17 after he was injured, and they got a free timeout that lasted like 5 minutes. That was interesting how that played out. But all in all, excellent defense. You got to see great depth. A lot of guys made plays. I'll go through the list of guys that I thought played well. Defensive line without R. Mason Thomas, the pressure was great. We had some lulls in there because I just think we got the rotations were tighter. Jaden Jackson played, but he didn't play a bunch of snaps. R. Mason Thomas was out, so we had to shorten those rotations, and we played a lot of snaps in that first half. I think it took our legs out a little bit and affected some of the rush. But all in all, Gabe, that's a championship level performance on the road by the defense.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. You look at after Bama scores the touchdown to go up 21-20 in the third quarter, punt, force fumble, which leads to a field goal for us, punt, turnover on downs, end of game.
Yep.
Against that offense in their house, that is as elite as it gets defensively.
Yep.
It was a special performance from the defense overall, but especially like when they needed to be at their best in the second half. Ted, they were lights out, man. And they did it without R. Mason Thomas. And let's just be real, Jaden Jackson was a shell of himself out there on the field.
Yep.
That's arguably your two best players on defense.
Yep.
Against a guy that a lot of people think has a chance to be the number one pick of the draft at quarterback, and a couple guys at wide receiver that are probably going to be first rounders, and some early picks along the offensive line. Like, that was, I'm telling you, man, that's as good as I can remember from an OU defense in a long, long time. That was a special performance defensively.
Yep. And here's something that I think is fantastic. Alabama's leading receiver was their tight end, Cuevas. Had a great game. All right. Don't get me wrong. But Bernard had 7 for 71. I think we actually did a good job on him. I mean, he made some some plays in the deep middle. Ryan Williams had 3 for 45, but Cuevas had 6 for 80. And remember, 2 of those were those deceptive kind of gotcha plays on the hide and the hurdle on the sideline. And then he caught some like check down stuff in the middle of the field.
And it felt like it was all in the first half, right?
Yeah, a lot of it was.
We had a Cuevas problem in the first half, and then in the second half, he kind of disappeared, if my memory's serving me correct.
Yeah. So if you can play Alabama and make their tight end the leading receiver, I mean, you give up some of those digs, but you don't give up the deep balls over the top to Williams and Bernard. So all in all, really good. Quickly, I'll go through some of the guys that I thought played well.
I wish you would.
Kip Lewis, game of the year. Incredible. He had 2 sacks. He had pressure on the quarterback. The effort all over the field was incredible. He made a great play on a tight end screen. He had the pressure on the quarterback on the pick 6. Okay. He forced that throw out. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to, and had the sack on I think the first possession. Made a great effort play on a bubble where they had us outnumbered, saved us. Effort on a quarterback scramble late in the game when Ty Simpson scrambled out and got free around the corner. If he doesn't make that effort play, could have been a huge chunk. And then obviously the sack late, incredible effort, incredible energy. I don't think he gets talked about enough with how good he's doing on the field this year. I thought Marvin Jones Jr. played well. I thought Eli Bowen, obviously, with the pick six, he played that bubble early where he smashed one of their wideouts right in the mouth, blew him 5 or 6 yards backward. That turned into a tackle for loss for us. I thought Owen Heineke played well. He had a couple of missed tackles that, stick out, but all in all, effort was great. Couple of really nice tackles. Cortland Guillory was great. Had the PBU on the deep ball, which, no flag for pass interference. Typically, you see that called, I don't know, hand fighting there. I'll take the benefit of the doubt. Made a real nice play on a bubble, made a real nice play on a quarterback keeper. Kobe McKenzie played well. It was good to see him back out there. Had a couple of big hits. He smashed. They lined up under center in I formation and ran like a lead play, and that tight end was done with that. He didn't want that anymore. You see his neck snap back. I thought he was physical, played well. I thought PJ played great. Stepped up, had a bunch more snaps because our Mason Thomas was out. Incredibly physical in the run game. Had a couple of real nice rushes. I talked about the drop that he had on the sack fumble by Taylor Wine. I thought PJ was really good. Reggie Powers was great. Caused a fumble on a big hit. Had another big hit in the flat coming down. Had a big tackle for maybe 2 tackle for loss or right there for no gain. Reggie Powers had an excellent game. Our Robert Spears Jennings had a really good play. He drove down and made the hit on the receiver on the pick six and then led on the block. I thought David Stone was great. He had a nice tackle on a stretch play. He had a real nice rush on Brailsford where he puts Brailsford on his back, talked about how good of a player he was. And then I mentioned the stuff on the 3rd and 2 late in that final drive. Taylor Wine, dude, I'm telling you, man, he's going to be a first-round pick.
Wine time.
It's wine time.
Is it wine time or is it Taylor, or are those plays tailor made?
I
think wine time's better. I think wine time's better.
It flows easier, but like the tailor made, the gears have to spin for a second. But yeah, I like that a lot.
Wine time we just need a shirt that says wine time on the front of it. That's
quick, easy, to the point.
Some massive plays in the game. And we talked about it during the bye week with our Mason Thomas being injured. Like, someone had to step up, and we said Taylor Wine was the guy that we thought could do it. And boy, did he ever. Huge impact on the game.
I would say that I thought Taylor Wine stepped up. I thought PJ stepped up, and I thought Danny Okoye stepped up. Okoye came in and had some really nice rushes. He's a really nice change of pace from what you get with PJ. Boganowski had a really nice play on a dig, and dude, he, just like always, the helmet's coming in the box. Get down if you're a running back. I thought Grayson Holton was great. Couple of really nice plays. Remember, he made a really nice play on a screen that led to the 3rd and long where Taylor Wine got the blow-up play. And then the 4th down play by Peyton Bowen was excellent there. Thought he played good. And someone brought it up on Twitter. I thought it was funny. Thank God Kobe didn't get that fumble, right? Because the next play was the pick six. And it's funny. We scored on defense last week, and we had the 15-yard penalty by David Stone on the play before it. It's like, oh, my gosh, what's happening? And then we go the other way. Our Mason Thomas scores. So just kind of funny how all that stuff unfolded. That's all I got.
Kobe, and I thought Kobe played really well. I thought he was kind of like the tone setter from a physicality standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one time they ran, I think it was just zone, and he spiked it, and I was like, oh, my gosh. But You cannot look more unathletic than he did trying to pick that ball up.
Hey,
That's going to be a fun one in the film room, knowing that you won the game and the next play was a pick six. That's that's going to be one where that's going to be a lot of fun to be in that room for everyone but Kobe McKenzie.
he has the built-in excuse though. Remember, he's playing with the pulled groin, right? So not easy to go try and scoop up that odd-shaped ball when you've got the pulled groin. I'll say this though. It wasn't very long ago that people would have laughed at you if you said that Oklahoma will go to Tuscaloosa and be the more physical team. And I think I love how this defense plays together. I love how smart they are. I love how disciplined they are. But whenever you finish a game against these guys, you feel it. The physicality that they bring. You see helmets snapping back off 330-pound offensive linemen getting thrown on their face, running backs getting blown up in pass protection. They play incredibly physical, and it's something to be really proud of.
Anything else? What
That's
you
it.
saw from OU's defense?
Sorry, that's it.
Uh, don't apologize. They won us the dang game, man.
They were great. They were great.
They were awesome. All right, let's talk about what we saw from the OU offense against that Crimson Tide defense. But first, download the Loves app from Loves Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with the discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Loves app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Loves restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Loves, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DidierRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. Guys, it's November in Norman, and that means 2 more home football games where you can grab Simple Modern's limited edition, brand new design drinkware that's only available in the stadium. These also make the perfect holiday gift for every Sooner fan in your life, especially for those who can't make it to a game. I'm telling you, it's the perfect way to cheer on the Sooners. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. Okay, breaking down what we saw from OU's offense against Alabama, just wasn't a ton there, right?
Yep.
I would say inconsistent is the best way to describe it. You look at it, 212 yards of total offense. You're 3 of 13 on third down, but you don't make the catastrophic mistake. Now, the argument can be made that Mateer should have thrown a pick six, right? It hits Jefferson right in the hands. He probably goes and scores, but hey, that's football. You got to catch it. And he didn't. But yeah, it was just my overall thought on this offense is they're just out there trying to not make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of how you see it, Ted? Because they've got the elite defense. You've got one of the best kickers in college football, maybe the best kicker in college football. And there's an overall, I would just say, lack of aggressiveness with this group, especially in the passing game. Like, I think maybe the best example is I feel like if you go and watch all of our route concepts on third down, it feels like everything is designed just to barely get the first down.
Or not even. Like we throw a lot of stuff in front of the chains.
It's like 3rd and 7 and we're running 7-yard routes.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 9 and we're running 9.5 yard routes. And the inability to stretch the field vertically really limits what this group can accomplish. And it feels like just the overall philosophy is, hey, let's get some first downs and let's win the field position battle. I don't know. That's just kind of how it feels to me. That just how it feels like they're calling it, how they're playing it. And it just, the lack of aggressiveness is interesting. Now, you won the game. So how upset can you be? But I think you would agree with me, Ted, that this offense, they have to be better than this if OU really wants to make some noise the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Like OU's offense has to be better than this, or they may get beat by Missouri.
Yep. I agree.
Like, I'm just going to be straight up. I think Missouri's a really good football team.
Yep.
So that's just kind of how I saw it. And looking at the run game, just kind of an interesting plan. Throughout the season, we've talked about how this group's kind of at their best, creating space formationally, trying to create light boxes, run into those light boxes. Mateer needs to make good decisions, whether to hand it or keep it in some of those read run game situations. Or if the box is crowded, hey, just throw some of the RPO stuff to the outside. It's like we said, hey, Alabama, let's play in a phone booth, which is an interesting strategy against Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, is that how you saw it? Because it was a lot of variations of split zone with tight tracks from the offensive line and then like QB gap scheme read run game. That's kind of where we lived offensively with the run game. And we didn't stress Alabama's defensive line laterally the way that I was hoping we would. And really, frankly, the best plays we had in the running game were speed sweeps. The one that Satania he looks like the fastest man alive.
Yeah, he does.
When
and
they handed it to
at
him.
Full speed, too.
I mean, he was moving. But I would have liked to see us attack the edges of the defense a little more with the running game. Like, we ran a wide zone, like just a wide zone read on the fifth play of the game offensively. And it looked pretty good, man. Front side combo between EPL and Michael has got them moving. Fasusi's holding up on the front side. Now, Foj, bad first step on the backside, steps underneath himself, gets him behind it. His guy ends up making the play, but like it's a solid run. Looks good. Never run it again.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's where I was like, I thought we'd live more in that world, trying to make this big physical front move, especially with some of the things they do from an alignment standpoint. And it was a lot of variations of split zone with tight tracks and some gap scheme QB run game. It was an interesting plan.
Yeah, I agree. I'll start off by saying this. I think Alabama's defense is better than maybe they get credit for nationally, considering, they went through Georgia, whose offense is rolling, Vanderbilt, who obviously has a good offense, Missouri with Pribula, Tennessee. So they played a bunch of the best offenses in the conference. So statistically, maybe it doesn't look as good as they actually are. And I'm with you. It feels like they've kind of accepted maybe what they are on offense and are just playing everything really close to the vest. And I also think that getting the lead early the way we did probably even reinforced that more. Like, okay, let's just get some first downs, try and get a field goal, and we'll try and hang on to this lead. But the problem is that becomes more and more difficult because we never stretch the field, and we've seen this the last couple of years, and we've talked about it on here. Here they come. Everyone is getting tighter to the line of scrimmage. Secondary and coverage is getting tighter and tighter. We don't have a lot of double moves or just vertical routes to test those guys. So it gets more and more difficult because they recognize it. They see the analytics, they see, what you're majoring in, and they're going to play tighter and tighter to you.
I, I'm sure we did, but I cannot recall an outside wide receiver just running down the field as fast as he could on a vertical route. Everything was like around the sticks. It was just, I don't know, but the inability to stress the defense vertically makes it very, very difficult to play offense.
Why did Alabama have success on the dig routes? Because we're worried about the vertical routes that they have so much success with.
And we have some guys that can run, That's why it's confusing to me. Like, I don't understand why we wouldn't run Satania.
He's a sprinter.
Vertically, quite a few times in a game. It's just, but that Bama defense never felt threatened by the vertical passing game. And that made the windows that Mateer had to throw underneath, it made him tight. And he made some excellent throws, and then he missed some. I mean, that should the kind of the inconsistency from him continues. You look at it, he was 15 of 23 for 138. Probably should have had the interception right, the Jefferson drops. And frankly, there was another one. It gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure he's not throwing it right into Yanze Pierre's hands. But hey, football.
Yeah.
But the passing game continues to be, I think, just underwhelming is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't change the fact that Mateer, like that 20-yard touchdown run was awesome.
Yep. It's great.
A little mini hurdle. He's spinning. He's dragging guys into the end zone. Like, that's awesome. But the passing game's just not where it needs to be. And I'm sure it's not where they want it to be. But like you mentioned, Ted, I think they just called a very conservative game. Like, they called it to win the game. But I think we all agree, like, it's just got to get better from this point if this team wants to accomplish its goals. I think that's fair to say.
No, I agree. I mean, there are some really explosive teams out there, and Alabama's offense, as good as they are, I wouldn't necessarily classify them as like one of the more explosive offenses out there in college football. They are more like efficiency driven, quarterback driven. He's going to try and pick you apart. There's some offenses out there that if you happen to make it into the playoff, where they're going to stress you all over the field constantly.
Yeah, like you're going to have to score 30 to beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
You're going to have to score 30 to beat Indiana. I mean, you're just that, like, your defense can only do so much. And I know I'm getting way ahead of myself here.
Right.
But that team, I think a lot of OU fans watched this game and went, special teams were amazing. Defense was amazing. Offense, a lot left to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair assessment. And now Mateer did have some excellent throws, like the early third quarter. Michaela gets edged. He avoids the pressure. He like dips under and then just rips one down the sideline to Satania. Just like an elite throw. One of his best.
Is that the one where he kind of like throws it like this?
Yes. Like he like ducks underneath the rush and then whips it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's in there. So that's the thing for me, is like he has moments where you just go, oh my gosh. And then he's got moments where you go, oh my gosh. It's whether or not it's the good oh my gosh or bad oh my gosh.
Right.
But I still think the guy's incredibly tough. He needs to continue to make his decision making in the RPO stuff, whether to throw it to the outside or hand it off or the read run game. Like, he's got to continue to improve his decision making in all those scenarios. He's got to be as close to perfect with his ball handling and decision making as possible.
And again, it goes back to it's harder to make those reads and those throws because, even whenever they're in a run stopping front, they're not worried about anything deep. So your pull and throw it is going to be to tight coverage because they're not playing way off of us in those areas because they're not worried about the play action deep ball.
You hear, I think a lot of OU fans consume a lot of college football content. You'll hear the term free access throws or like easy access throws. John Mateer does not have those.
Nope.
Because everything is just coming closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. Like we don't have the just a stop route on the outside where our wide receiver catches the ball and you're like, why is there 8 yards between him and the corner?
Right. Yep.
We don't have any of those. So, and that makes life tough. Moving to the wide receiver spot, Giovanni Gibson 2 for 26. Had a couple of nice plays late in the game. I did think overall he looked more sudden coming off the line of scrimmage in this game. I thought it was as fast as he's played since he's come back from the injury, and I think that's a good sign. Deion Burks got him some touches early, and it was like, okay, could this be the big day for Deion? And then he just kind of disappeared from the game, which feels like it happens way too often with him. Now, he is struggling on the outside, blocking in some of those RPO throw situations.
He's a small. He needs space, right?
Yeah.
Back to the free access throws, right? He needs some of those crossers that are open because the secondary's playing way off because you got deep stuff down the field and he can catch it and get into some yards after catch, but he doesn't get many opportunities because it's all catch tackle, real tight.
Yeah. And why he doesn't run vertical routes, he's got good speed. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I thought, I continue to believe like getting Burks and Satania easy touches would be great for this offense. The speed sweep stuff, just line him up in the backfield, kind of some of the stuff that Bama does with Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah, they do some really good stuff with him.
That stuff would be great for Satania and Burks. Just finding him.
That one clip. They run an 18-yard dig route with Jeremy Bernard coming out of the backfield as a running back.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Well, but why is it there? Because they stress you so much down the field that you get some big cavernous areas in the middle of the field to do that stuff.
I would like to see us get Burks some more easy touches. And in some of those RPO situations, have him be the bubble guy instead of the guy blocking for the bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he clearly struggles at points in time in those scenarios. Isaiah Satania, 4 for 26, did draw a big PI late in the game. I mentioned the speed sweep. That dude was just flying. Now, he fumbled again. He's got to stop fumbling the football. And luckily it goes out of bounds. Now Helms has to be better in that situation. A safety just comes and jacks Caden Helms up and then goes and punches the ball out on Satania on the quick screen. That cannot happen. You cannot get jacked up like that by a guy wearing number 16. But you can't put the ball on the ground. And that it's starting to feel like a theme for him. And teams see that. And I don't know if it's in his head at this point, but he's got to secure the football. He has been our best player offensively. We got to continue to getting him the ball like that. We got to continue to feature him. We got to make it a point of emphasis. But when he gets it, man, he's got to protect it. He's got to stop fumbling.
Yep, I agree.
He also must have the most flexible leg possible.
Oh,
how he did not break his ankle on that play, Ted, when Mateer just goes flying into him full speed and he's stationary blocking. I have no idea.
I'm glad he got up from that because in real time it looked ugly.
It's unbelievable when you watch it on tape. You're like, oh, he's done. And then he just pops right up. You're like, wow, what an athlete.
Right.
Jermichael Carter came in again and did some good things. Like our most aggressive play of the day in the passing game. He's running a deep dig on the outside. Zone opens up perfectly. Protection solid. Mateer lets it rip. Jermichael Carter catches it for a 22-yard gain. Longest pass of the game. Longest play of the game for us offensively. And he does some good things. Like, he's one of those guys. I'm going to keep saying it. The guy looks like he can run. Can we try to stress the defense vertically with him?
Yeah.
At some point, you just have to keep defenses honest and throw some go balls to make them think about it, you know?
Yeah.
Running back, there was not a ton of space in the running game. I mentioned it. We kind of played it in a phone booth for Xavier Robinson, and he had 10 for 34. He caught 2 passes for 8 yards, and there was not a lot of space for him to operate. I actually thought he did a good job of picking up some yards when there wasn't much there at all.
It's crazy how he drives the pile forward somehow. And I know he's getting help from the offensive line, but there's so many runs that look like no gain that turn into 3-4 yard runs that it's a big asset to have, because if he's not doing that, like, the down and distance situations get ugly.
And he took that big shot to his leg on the check down, and he was never the same. I mean, you can see it. He's basically cutting, playing on one leg, and it was one of those where it was pretty obvious he was hurt. Someone else in that running back room's got to step up.
Yeah.
I mean, and Torrey Blaylock had a really nice start to the season, and his production and opportunities have faded over these last couple weeks. But if Xavier Robinson is like, that cannot be our feature back if he's as banged up as he was after he took that shot to his leg. Like, he had no juice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, credit to him for being really, really tough and playing through that. Like, that's awesome, but it's also kind of an indictment on the rest of the room, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yep.
Blaylock gets out there. He had 4 carries for 1 yard. Got to get him going. I don't know how significant Xavier Robinson's injury is, but I doubt it feels great today, you know?
I mean, they had him in the tent forever, and he came out with a tape job on his knee that looked like it made it impossible for him to use it. I mean, it was bolted down, basically.
Tape job with a brace over it.
Yeah.
It's not what you want to see from your starting running back.
No doubt.
But the group as a whole, someone's got to step up if Xavier Robinson is really banged up. And this is where I'm going to insert this discussion point in here, because where has Javonte Barnes gone?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on there. I haven't asked. But this is now a team that has the playoff on the table. I don't want to assume really what's going on there. But if Javonte Barnes can play, he needs to play. Straight up, man.
Yeah.
This team desperately needs him right now. Desperately needs him. And he's been an OU guy. He's been the ultimate team guy. He's done everything this program has asked him to do. And I appreciate that. But you got the college football playoff. You're staring at it right in the face. If you can play, what are we even doing? What are we even talking about?
Yeah.
I'm just going to call it how I see it, man. What's going on there? I don't know.
No idea.
Haven't asked. Wasn't that concerned about it because Xavier Robinson was playing really well. Well, now he's banged up, and now it's a big concern.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
I know it's awkward. I feel awkward right now, but what are we doing?
Right. Yeah. So he got the 4 in, and we haven't seen him since.
Tweak tweak something in warmups, right? Okay.
Yeah, I
College
guess.
football playoff on the line. Got a chance to host a game in Norman. Biggest game here in decades.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'd want to play in that if I was a football player. I'm just saying. Want to
Yeah.
play in that game.
I agree.
Missouri with the chance that, hey, if we win this game, then we get LSU, and then we're going to host a college football playoff game. I'd want to play in that type of game. Just saying.
It's what you wait on. It's
Just saying.
what you
It's
hope
kind
for.
of everything you want as a football player.
Right. Yeah.
I tied in. Jaron Canick, 2 for 23. Thought he actually did a solid job out on the perimeter with some of the blocking stuff, kind of in the RPO situations. The split zone stuff continues to be hit or miss with Canick in some of those concepts. Caden Helms, just got to call it how I see it. It was a rough day for 18, which was disappointing to see because I thought he was really coming along as this team's best point of attack guy at the tight end position. And for whatever reason, he struggled to match the physicality that they were bringing defensively. And it was edge guys, backers, safeties. Like he struggled to meet their level of physicality. And, his most physical play of the day, he gets called for a blindside block on the pin pull play.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of that rule, but the rule's the rule. And you got to capture and not kill in that situation if you're him. And it's funny because the play before, he gets absolutely jacked up in the backfield on the same side split zone. And I think he was going, okay, I got to redeem myself. And he goes and drills that dude. I was like, hey, great block. And then I went, uh-oh. Yeah, that's the rule. Can't do that. And instead of where that ball ends up, it's probably 3rd and 3. And instead, we're in 2nd and 23.
Yep.
But it just, he's better than the way that he played in this game, in my opinion. On to the offensive line. Michael Fasusi, thought he did some really good things in pass protection. Now, he did give up a little too much push on some power rushes from some of the Bama edge guys, but overall, I thought he was solid in pass protection. Now, he's got to continue to get his pads down in the run game. He's going the right places. He's playing physical, but lower pads will create some more movement for him. He got another hold in this game. He's given up too much ground, but Mateer kind of flees out to the left. It's one of those where I sit and go, kind of just bad luck. One thing technically that I don't really understand is we ran some of the gap scheme stuff, the quarterback gap scheme read game, right? The QB GT counter read, where we're threatening speed sweep one way, we got the GT counter coming back the other, or we're threatening speed sweep into the same side. We're trying to divide the defense and run the QB power, like the one back QB power. In some of those concepts, he's working to a backside backer that is way back there. I mean, way backside. And he's high legging, which is a technique you typically use when you're going to a backer that's kind of like stacked right over the guy you're double teaming. If it were up to me, like he'd be turning, opening up, and trying to absolutely destroy the down lineman on that hip, like just trying to clean him up in double teams with Eddie Pierre-Louis if you're working to a backside backer that's way, way back there. So I'm not entirely sure why he was high-legging some of those gap scheme double teams. It was strange to me.
Is it like maybe a RPO option built into some of that stuff, and we're trying to keep him from climbing?
It could be, but still, like you're coming down and you want to create movement at the point of attack. Right. That's the key on gap scheme plays.
I
It's that
agree.
front side combination. Like, let's come off and let's move some people, boys.
I agree.
That's that's where my head's at with it. But Eddie Pierre Louis, now he did have a very bad false start late. And I hated that for him. You go from what was it, 3rd and 4 to 3rd and 9 when you're trying to go put the game away. Just you never want to have that type of penalty. But all of the best snaps of offensive line play in this game are by number 55. All of them. All of them. All of the most physical finishes in the run game in this entire game are number 55. All of the moments where it's like, okay, I need to go find work. Let me go destroy this guy and hit him as hard as I can while my buddy's engaged with them. All of those are number 55. And I actually thought technically he was better with his pad level. He was better with his hand placement. The feet, we still need some work, but he's getting better. The effort, the intensity, the physicality are unmatched by any other lineman on our team.
Consistently, too. Not just, I mean, it's not a one game thing with him.
You go through my notes. Good finish, good. Buried him, good. Excellent. Now he got pulled a couple times. There's a couple gap scheme, double teams where it's like, I'm not sure if he knows which backer he's working to. But all the other stuff, really physical, good, physical. Like that's Eddie Pierre Louis.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most physical guy we got. He plays harder than anyone else we got. And that'll take you a long way, man. And if the technique can continue to get a little better, we're going to be in serious business with 55. Yep. So I liked what I saw from him against the best defensive front that he's played in his career. There's a lot to be encouraged about. Jake Michaela, he covered guys up nicely in the run game. He's not a guy that creates a bunch of movement in the run game. That's just not his game as of now. But did a nice job of covering things up, had the guys on the same page. Another really good performance in pass protection. He got edged one time, and Mateer was able to avoid it and dip and rip that one down the sideline to Satania. I know he'll want that rep back. He's in perfect position. He just kind of misses with his right hand. But and it's not funny, but it kind of is. He got a high-low. Him and Eddie Pierre Louis got a chop block penalty in this game, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. He's going to hop on a defensive tackle that is rushing into him. He trips over Fabechi Wiwu and kind of goes down like face first. Just kind of weird. And he's trying to get back up, and as he tries to get back up, he cuts the guy that Eddie Pierre Louis is blocking, and they high-low him. It's not what typically the high-low is like, oh, no lineman's engaged, and then the running back goes and cuts the guy, and you're like, what are you doing? That's where I can't recall seeing a high-low in pass protection like this. I watched it probably 20 times just going, how did this happen?
Is it the right call?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing malicious about it from Eddie Pierre Louis or Jake Michaela. Michaela is on the ground and he's just trying to get up. And as he's trying to get up, like he's getting up and going forward, and he cuts the guy right in his legs. It's one of those where I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. I've seen offensive linemen like blocking zone, and a guy maybe's got him engaged on the backside, and you go and you pull his pins and you cut him with the other guy, and you're like, oh, he's kind of engaged. That's a high-low. I can't remember seeing one in pass protection like this. It was just kind of I don't know, it was kind of funny. Fabechi Wiwu I know what I'm getting from 54. Another solid game for him. When he cuts it loose in the run game, he's really, really good. When he doesn't, it's frustrating for me. When he's super measured at the line of scrimmage, and it's like when he lets it go, he moves people. He needs to just cut it loose way more often, in my opinion. But pass protection, another solid performance. He's really good technically, so that puts him in good spots. I thought Foj, all things considered, the environment, the level of players he was playing against, I thought he did a solid job. Now, he gave up a QB hit on the, remember the reverse flea flicker play
Yep.
after the sudden change, Ted?
The hot potato play.
The
Yeah.
hot potato play. He got material blasted on that play, but he's having to hang on for a long time. And we saw Simmons come in the game after that. But overall, I he's getting himself in trouble with some of his first steps in the run game. He's getting behind blocks because he's either stepping underneath himself or for whatever reason, like if we're running something to the left, he'll like drop his right foot and then open, which time is the key there, man, and that takes too long. You got to open that front side, or when you're on the backside, you got to open that hip and go, man. So he was behind some things because of that little footwork flaw, but I I continue to watch him and go, that that's a starting tackle in the SEC. Man, there were some pass rushes where he could have shut down the bull rush a little better, but overall he did a lot of good things again. And then Derek Simmons, it was just good to see him back out on the field, you know?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure we were going to ever see that guy again. And he got a couple series, wasn't super physical or devastating, but did a good job of covering people up. And for the most part, I thought he was solid in pass protection. So it's nice to have that depth piece back for this offensive line. I don't know if with the edge players that Missouri has, if like, do you start Simmons? Do you start Foj? I think we're going to be in. I think either guy can play winning football for you there at right tackle.
I continue to believe that if this is the offense that we're going to be, we're going to play everything just kind of close. The RPO stuff is not super dangerous for us. Put Eddie Pierre-Louis every now and then as a blocker in the backfield, move Fauché to guard, and let's get some work done in the run game. If this is what we're going to be, let's stop screwing around with the RPO crap and cut people loose and start moving some defensive linemen.
Just put an offensive lineman at tight end and run mid zone. It's our best play.
Yeah.
So it looks the best. I don't think we ran mid zone one time in this game. I guess the play I talked about, the fifth play of offense on the game, is like a wider zone. I guess that could be mid zone, but yeah, it wasn't a big part of what we did for whatever reason. That's all I've got offensively. I think that it's just, I don't know, man. I just, you don't come away from that game going, what a great performance by the offense. I mean, that's just, I don't think anyone's feeling that way. It just feels very guarded, maybe. Yep. I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel.
No, yeah, I get it. It's just, I agree. I mean, I think we've settled into this spot where, we're not going to be super explosive. We're not going to score a lot of points. Let's just try to eliminate the big negative plays, not turn it over, and hopefully we find some things here and there and see if our defense can go win us the game, defense and special teams. Which, I mean, there's something to be said for that, right? You've won 2 huge games on the road. So, I don't know. I don't think you have to be careless, but if that's what you're going to do, let's go in that direction and start trying to be physical in the run game instead of the massage stuff,
If we're going to be Iowa,
let's be Iowa.
Let's be Iowa.
That's it.
I don't think we're going to do that. I just think that for me, and I love seeing how happy you are about the defense. I really do, dude. It brings me joy. It really does. But I just think we're not going to be +3 in the turnover margin in these playoff games if we get there.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely with the way that Missouri plays that we're going to be +3 in turnover margins. And that's just it feels unsustainable to me. The way that we've won the last two games, and I am uh, experiencing immense amounts of joy watching this team win those type of games. I am. But in the back of my mind, as an offensive guy, I'm going, we got to be better offensively, or else this magical season's going to end earlier than we want it to.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I feel, because I don't think you can say, oh, the defense is going to force 3 turnovers and Sandell's going to continue to be the hottest kicker on planet Earth, you know?
Yeah.
You have to start finding a better rhythm offensively, and maybe the best way to put it is like, what are we good at offensively? That's what I'm struggling with. It's like, what are we good at?
I mean, we're not the top 3 or 4 in the SEC in anything. We're just kind of the things that we're best at are like kind of middle of the road at best.
Once again, you win games however you have to win games. I get that. But I would love to be able to go, hey, when the opposing defense turns on the tape, they're going to be worried about this, and this. And right now, I mean, you tell me, Ted, you're the defensive guy. You've watched every play this offense has played all season long. Like, what's that list? Like, what does an opposing defense go, hey, we are worried about this with Oklahoma?
I'm not trying to, I don't want to be super negative, but this is the exact type of offense that you want to play as a defense. You know,
I can't argue that.
What you worry about whenever you put on the film and you see guys streaking down the field and they're like whether they're open or not, they're throwing it deep and testing you in coverage. And they hit on a couple of them. Those plays are devastating, and you're like, we got to protect against the deep ball. I mean, if we give up 2 or 3 deep balls, we may lose the football game. So you got to guard against that, and that leaves you vulnerable to other areas. We don't do any of that. So you just pile everyone in, and then you say, hey, well, if they hit a deep ball on us or 2, and that starts to be a theme, then we'll change. So you're gonna pile the line of scrimmage, man, and here we go.
That's how I feel. I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
I want to be able to come on here and go, wow, we did this and that and this and that at an extremely high level. That's not what happened offensively in Tuscaloosa, unfortunately. But you're 8-2, man.
W. Yep.
W. Ultimately, that's what matters. But I think we can all agree the offense has to continue. Like, improvement has to happen if this team wants to make any noise the rest of the way.
Yep. I agree. I mean, the base level feels like it's there. Like we've been better at eliminating a bunch of the negative stuff. Now let's start adding in some more explosive things that, let's cut the offense loose a little bit. We don't have to get crazy with it, but cut it loose a little bit. A deep go ball on a one-on-one is as good as running inside zone for us right now, without a doubt.
Yes. Let's get to call your shot. We asked you guys your number one takeaway from OU's win over Alabama. This first one comes from Oklahoma Muse, who says, I'm honestly blown away by the mindset of this team. They keep punching. They keep getting back up. They keep making heroic plays. They keep playing young players that are difference makers. This game was won in the +3 turnover margin in a relatively clean game in regards to penalties. BVN staff deserves their flowers.
I agree. Hard to kill, right? Hard to kill. Tough, physical. They grind it out. And I know we've said multiple times, like, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, because I think that we've got some really good potential this year. But, buddy, look out for next year.
Going to be a really good football team next year.
Really good football team.
Very, very good football team. But a lot of football to be played this season.
And a lot of really good opportunity.
This other one comes from A5 Diesel, who says, defense travels. Please help me understand the offensive game plan and overall scheme. Random thought. Last time we won an Natty, our quarterback was injured then. Huh. That's an interesting thought. I don't know why I picked that one. No offense, A5 Diesel. I apologize.
I don't know. I we kind of hit on it. I think that we feel like we've got a big edge with our defense and with our special teams. And, the offense, as long as we don't make the critical error, that we can maybe stalemate that phase of the game, and defense and special teams will play good enough to get you the win. It feels like that's kind of where what they've settled into now.
As an offensive guy, I just don't love the attitude of being like, hey, offense, just don't mess it up.
No, I get you.
That's a tough way to go play. I don't know that. I highly doubt that's the messaging.
No,
but it is the offense. It's obvious that this team needs to get more from the offense.
Yeah.
And if they do, buddy, watch out.
Yep. Agree.
All right, let's recap the best games of week 12 of college football. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica has launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, time to recap the best games of week 12 of college football. And Ted, let's start in Athens, Georgia, where, this was a 14-10 game at going into the fourth quarter. Yeah. And I know Georgia had the ball, like they're driving, they're going in. But buddy, you talk about a dominant fourth quarter from the Dogs. They choked them out in the fourth, man. That was impressive.
Yeah. And how about Kirby Smart just being like, hey, we're not going to just try and close this game out. We're going to stomp on you in the fourth quarter. And they got really aggressive and trusted their defense, right? And that, if Georgia's one of those teams that you feel like, especially with Gunnar Stockton in the season he's put together, like they are starting to look like some Georgia teams of the past.
Gunnar Stockton was awesome. And I know he throws a pick in the third quarter. I get it. Texas cashes that in. I think that was the one Manning to Wingo in the end zone there. And you look up and you're like, wait, it's 14-10. But early and late, Gunnar Stockton was unbelievable in this game. I mean, some of the throws he had on those first couple drives, you're like, oh, this guy looks like an NFL starter right now. I thought the whole thing was he wasn't very good at throwing. He was just, I mean, dime after dime early in this game for him. And he's an incredibly productive player. Man, 24-29 for 229, 4 touchdowns, and then added 29 rushing yards. And I think, didn't he had the late touchdown to make it 35-10,
Five
which
touchdowns.
ultimately
Yep.
just a casual 5 touchdown performance in your biggest game of the season. That'll work.
Against top 5, top 10 defense, however you want to classify Texas, really good defense. It's a hell of a performance.
But that fourth quarter, and it was rare to see like that London Humphreys touchdown. It was rare. It's rare to see Texas just bust in the back end of their defense like that. And I think it was Taft, which is even more surprising.
Yeah.
But so there was that play, and that makes it 21-10. And you're like, okay, Texas gonna have to put something together on this drive, and that's when they hit him with the surprise onside, and you're like, that felt like the thing that that felt like that's when the Georgia Avalanche started in that fourth quarter.
Damn near disrespectful, right? I mean, to say like, we'll take this risk, maybe giving you the ball at midfield. That's a heck of a call by Kirby Smart.
When I watch Texas, they're struggling to play an offensive style that complements their defense. Arch Manning throwing the ball 43 times is not what you want to do when you got a really, really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they got playmakers, man. I understand that. I know what they have at wide receiver. I get it. But when you got a defense like that, you just want to be able to control the game. And their inability to run the ball puts so much pressure on Arch Manning, and it puts even more pressure on that defense. So Wisner was 9 for 37, and Baxter had 1 for 3.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, they had 60 offensive snaps, and Arch was 27 of 43. So of their 60 offensive snaps, 16 of them are dead plays, like nothing there. It's just an incompletion. It's hard to play a defense like Georgia and have that many just nothing plays from your offense. I mean, that's a big chunk of what you're doing, and hard to overcome that.
Texas had 1 play over 20 yards. It's a hard way to play offense. We just talked about OU's performance against Bama. Like, when you cannot produce explosive plays, it makes playing offense really, really difficult. And Texas has an offensive line problem. Like, that's the problem with their team. They can't block people in the run game. Arch is feeling a ton of pressure a lot of the time in the pocket. Like, they moved some pieces around. I think they thought they had solved those problems, and Georgia exposed that group as a whole. And that's why Texas's team is not going to accomplish what a lot of people thought they could accomplish heading into this season, is because they're just not good enough along the offensive line.
I say what you want to about Arch. That dude's tough, man. He takes some shots week in, week out, and he keeps getting up and he keeps standing in there and firing. It's pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah. And I know Texas's defense wasn't lights out, and it kind of came apart in the fourth quarter, but there was a long, long stretch of that game where that defense played really, really well.
I mean, you're in the game going into the fourth quarter on the road against Georgia. Like the formula is kind of similar to what we've been kind of dealing with, but they weren't able to make the plays, and Georgia was.
Georgia just might be the best team in the country. It, it's hard to say it's not Ohio State, but Georgia is, it feels like they are peaking at the right time. And Texas now, I don't think their playoff chances are completely dead, but they're going to have to get a lot of help, man. And they still have to play A&M in the
Yeah.
final game of the season, which is actually exactly what they need for a playoff resume. But yeah, Texas's college football playoff hopes feel like they're on life support a bit.
Yep, I agree. They got what? They got Arkansas at home, which you feel like they should be able to win that football game, and then that A&M game is going to be interesting.
I we'll we'll talk about that A&M game and winners and losers. That was whoa. I mean, whoa. But let's get to our next game. Notre Dame and Pitt. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this one.
Woo.
Now, I do want to remind you, our Battle Bets League, battlebets.app/OK breakdown is going to run through the end of college football season. Our playoffs are going to match up with the CFP. So join the league. The top half will make the playoffs. So go to battlebets.app/OK breakdown. Make sure you download the free BattleBets app. Come compete against us and the other listeners in our league. And the winner of the playoffs will win $1,000.
All right. I love it. Big money.
BattleBets.app/OK breakdown. Notre Dame. They win it 37-15. And I'm just going to call it how I see it. I'm going to go out on a limb here, Ted. Jeremiah Love's pretty good football.
Yeah. Yeah. He's legit, man. I mean, for a couple of years, I mean, he's been the best back in college football for a couple of years, and just continues to be really, really fun to watch carry the ball. Physical, fast, explosive, does everything that you want.
He rips off that 56-yard touchdown run where, hey, it's him and the safety one-on-one in space, and I don't even think the guy touches him.
Yep.
And he does that, and it's followed up. Heinzel stares it down. They throw pick six, and it was 14-0. And I was just there going, okay, well, this is over.
That was fun while it lasted.
And I know CJ Carr threw a pick, and it got returned to like the 11-yard line, but Notre Dame forced, they were able to bow up and force a field goal attempt. But this one was just, it was over quickly, and we should have known, man. Pat Narduzzi told us, this game doesn't matter that much. Now, I think a lot of people are going to bring that up, but it really was. You're just watching two teams. They were kind of just on different levels, right? Yep. That's how it looked in one of the best uniform matchups you're ever going to see. Just gorgeous.
Yeah. And you're right. Like Notre Dame plays a bunch of teams that they're just a different caliber of football team. I know we'll get to it, but that USC win for them is carrying pretty much the entire load for them right now.
No. They've got great losses, Ted. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Don't forget how much weight the great losses carry for the Irish.
There you go. There you go.
I think this is where we're at. We'd like to congratulate Notre Dame on another college football playoff berth.
Syracuse and Stanford remaining.
I suppose anything can happen, but feels like we can just congratulate our Notre Dame our Notre Dame friends for making another college football playoff.
Yeah. I mean, Syracuse is 3-7 and Stanford is 3-7, a combined 6-14. So, yep. Just wondering where they're going to play right now.
Seems like they'll host, and we'll see what that ends up looking like. But CJ Carr did make some interesting mistakes in this game. I will say one of the things that people have talked about Notre Dame for several years, like, hey, do they have the playmakers at the wide receiver position? I feel like CJ Carr brings a new aggressiveness to the quarterback position for them. Like he wants to push it down the field. And dude, Malachi Fields made some ridiculous plays in this game. I mean, the jump ball touchdown, the one-handed catch.
Yeah, that
He ends
one-handed
up
catch was sick.
that was like what 7 for 99 and 2 touchdowns. If they're gonna make some noise in the playoff, Fields has to make those types of plays. So I'm sure that was really encouraging for Marcus Freeman to see, and he's been solid, but to make those big time competitive plays like that could be the difference between Notre Dame having a first round exit or Notre Dame possibly going and playing like another national championship.
Yep. No, I agree.
Jeremiah Love also very good at football. I don't know if I
Very,
mentioned that.
very good. Very good.
Heisman,
They're just a good, solid, all around football team.
physical team,
Physical.
well coached. Uh, Jeremiah Love, Heisman finalist. You think?
No.
You don't think he's going to get there?
I don't
I,
know. Maybe.
it depends on how many get invited. I think he's going to sneak in there. He's really good, dude.
Yeah. He's got
He also
1,100.
plays at Notre Dame, which doesn't hurt.
He's got 1,100 for with 14 touchdowns, averaging 6.4 carry.
Question
I
for
don't
you.
know. Yeah.
Who's better? Keywan Lacey at Ole Miss or Jeremiah Love?
I'd say Jeremiah Love.
I agree.
All things equal, I'd say Jeremiah Love.
That being said, Keywan Lacey's legit, man.
He is. He
He's
is.
fantastic. And he's
It's
putting up numbers.
That's the thing is he gets hidden in that offense a little bit, with some of the players around him. Not really the case with Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame. He's the name that everybody knows.
Yeah. More people should know Keywan Lacey's name. He's awesome.
He's the leader in touchdowns right now. 19 touchdowns for Keywan Lacey. 1,100, like yardage wise, they're almost identical, but Jeremiah Love's got a better average. Jeremiah Love's playing against a lot crappier competition.
Something to think about. All right, last game to recap from week 12. Turns out USC can win a game if it's raining, Ted. How about
Well,
that?
I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but they got a pretty good football team in Southern California.
They Now the way that this thing went in the first half, I'm sure people were already writing there. Lincoln Riley doesn't, he cannot run a tough program. We can't play in the elements. Like it did not look good early for the Trojans, but to their credit, complete domination in the second half. And to me, and this was something we talked about when we previewed this game, like the difference in the game was USC had Makai Lemon.
Yep.
And Jacoby Lane, but Makai Lemon in particular, 10 for 153 and a touchdown.
He is explosive. And they get him the ball in a bunch of really cool ways.
Maeva will just throw it up to him in double coverage in the end zone, and he just goes and makes a play. No problem.
Yep.
I thought Jade Maeva played pretty good as well. Like all things considered, it was rainy, kind of an interesting situation, but played well in the second half. And then, dude, you just got to get some bounces to have a really good season. And Gronowski throwing that ball and it bouncing off that dude's knees straight into the defensive lineman's stomach for USC. That ends up sets up the game-winning touchdown for USC. That's good luck for the Trojans and bad luck for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah. just brutal stuff. But hey, we talk about it all the time. You never know what it's going to take. You just have to find a way to win it, and the good teams find a way to pull it off. Sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's great, but at the end of the day, you pull off the win, you just go on to the next one and try it again. And that's kind of what they've done. They've had some ugly football games that they've been able to come out on the high side.
Mark Gronowski threw for a touchdown, rushed for a touchdown, and caught a touchdown. There can't be many guys that have done that and lost the game. And I think he did it all in the first half. My memory serves me correctly. Like, you can't even enjoy it if you're Gronowski. You're like, that's awesome.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I was starting to think, I was like, I wonder how many times that's happened at Iowa.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say never.
I mean, it's
We'll get our
probably
stats department right on that.
it's probably happened on like a tailback pass, right? Like someone threw it, not a quarterback. If it's happened, not a quarterback.
Yeah, but a game of inches for Iowa. I mentioned the interception that goes off a guy's knee back towards the line of scrimmage, straight into Stewart's belly. And then they were so close to taking the lead late. Ted, I mean, Wiegand's toe is barely out on that fourth down play. It would have made it first and goal, I think, at like the 7 or 8 yard line, but game of inches.
Brutal.
Being an Iowa fan's got to be really painful. They've lost 4 games, all to ranked teams, by a combined 15 points.
I mean, it's super stressful. I mean, nothing ever comes easy. I mean, even the game. Well, they've won some lopsided football games where they've been able to lean on people, but man, it's frustrating in the big games whenever you're that close. You have a lead and can't hang on to it. But I mean, they're a good football team, though. Iowa is. They're a hard out. They're hard to beat. Um, USC at Oregon and UCLA left.
At Oregon's going to be a big one, clearly. Trojans have to have it if they want to go to the playoff. So that'll be fair to say biggest game of Lincoln Riley's tenure at USC.
As late as it is, and with a playoff appearance on the line, it's got to be.
They played in the Pac-12 championship with Caleb Williams. That was the game where I think he hurt his hammy, and that was kind of what did him in that game. But
was that year one? I think that was year one, right?
yeah, this feels big, and going against Lanning and Oregon, this feels very, very big for USC.
Yeah,
and I'm sure Dan Lanning's going to want to score 1,000 points.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
All their wide receivers are hurt, so I don't know.
That's the thing is a couple of weeks ago, I would have said there's no way. I mean, USC doesn't really stand a chance in this game, but I'm not so sure now, man. Oregon hasn't been super impressive to me, and USC just continues to find a way. And I don't know. Going to be fascinating, that's for sure.
Only other thing on the Iowa USC game, Iowa had an assistant coach get a 15-yard penalty that gave USC the first down that sealed the game, and I can't find a video of it anywhere. I don't know what happened. I just have to trust that it happened.
Wow.
It seems like a video should exist, and maybe at this point in time it does, but I looked for a while last night and couldn't find anything.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
We'll just have to trust him on that.
Yeah, apparently. Interesting.
Oregon 8.5-point favorite this week in that game as of right now.
That's a substantial line.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. So I just want to be entertained. Now, is there a sinister part of me that wants USC to win and for OU to host USC in a playoff game? Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome.
You want to walk into the most toxic environment imaginable for a college football game?
That would be crazy. If if they take care of business and we take care of business, there is no doubt in my mind that if there's a possibility for that scenario to take place, it's exactly what college football would give you.
Do the right thing, College Football Playoff Committee. If that is, if you can make it happen, if you can manipulate it within reason, do it.
This is one time I'll be okay with it.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. All right, let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, wind, hail, tornadoes, and earthquakes are now year-round threats. And at the same time, homeowners insurance rates in Oklahoma are the highest in the entire country. Unfortunately, some insurance companies use deceptive and bad faith claim handling practices to deny or lower what little they pay out. Fortunately, one of the leading insurance bad faith attorneys in the country is a longtime Sooner and resides here in Oklahoma, Jeff Marr. The Marr Law Firm has represented more victims of tornado, storm, and earthquake damage than anyone in the Sooner State, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. There's only one law firm to handle insurance companies, Marr Law Firm. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go.
Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School represents a tradition of educational excellence in Oklahoma City. Grounded in a faith-based education, Bishop McGuinness offers a college prep curriculum that includes 26 AP courses, participation in OSSAA athletics, and numerous clubs and organizations for students to join and grow. If you want to provide the best possible educational and spiritual development for your children, contact Bishop McGuinness Catholic High School or visit bmchs.org. Financial aid is available.
As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
I had to go with Missouri. What a performance. Ahmad Hardy, 300 yards rushing. That is a long day on the football field for Mississippi State. That's not how you want to lose a football game.
He is, in my opinion, the hardest back in America to tackle.
Just a ball of muscle.
He just bounces off the dudes, man. And to Missouri's credit and Eli Drinkowitz's credit, they have an identity as an offense.
Yeah.
We are a wide zone, outside zone, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's what they do. And, dude, when it is humming, Ahmad Hardy is just – the dude is an absolute problem as a one-cut, like, get downhill zone runner. Now, he can dance and do all that stuff, but, like, when he's at his best, he is downhill and getting vertical and running through people's souls. Like, he is – I'm not concerned, you know?
Yeah.
About Missouri coming to Norman. I'm not concerned because this dude is legit. He's one of the best in college football.
Yep. He's fantastic. And, you know, frankly, it was 21-17 halfway through the third quarter, right? And Mississippi State was hanging around. They had a fumble coming out. Missouri did, and Mississippi State paid it off with the touchdown. But that 72-yard run from Hardy that opened it up to where it's 28-17, that was the end of it. Mississippi State throws a touchdown on the very next play. Or, excuse me, interception on the very next play.
Do we think Missouri still has an outside chance of making the playoff? Because it feels like a 9-3 team is going to make it to me. And maybe that doesn't end up happening. And I doubt it's going to be Missouri, especially with their starting quarterback hurt. But when you look at their losses, they lost to Bama by 3. They lost to Vanderbilt by 7 on the road. Now they did get smoked by A&M a couple weeks ago, but I mean, if they go into Norman and win, I don't know. I think their playoff chances are dead. But if you're Eli Drinkwitz, that's your messaging to your team. Like, boys, we're not dead yet.
No doubt. I mean, the AP has Oklahoma as the number 8 team in the country right now. You go on the road and beat the number 8 team in the country. That's the formula for them. I mean, you're right. I don't know if a 9-3 team is gonna make it. There's probably gonna have to be some chaos for that to be the case, which college football has a tendency to get chaotic. But you're right. I mean, that's exactly what the message is going to be. And it's going to be a tough football game for us now. It really is. If if they hit a couple of explosive runs or turnovers, they could really kill you in time of possession if they get the running game going. So, I mean, I know like we went and beat Alabama and it's like, okay, what happens in the first round of the playoffs? It We've got a lot of football between now and then. We're in a good position. Don't get me wrong. Be excited. But Missouri is a team with a really good defense and a really good running game. And as we know, someone pointed it out and call your shot, that travels.
It does. And the way that this game played out, the way that, Zollers threw the ball 15 times against Mississippi State. That's exactly the way this team wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really physical. What they did in the second half against Mississippi State was very impressive because Levy's got that team. They're not a good team, but it's not like they're the cellar dweller of the SEC anymore. Like they're decent, and Missouri got after them late. So
Yep.
they're going to be coming into Norman thinking that they can win this game for sure.
Yep. I mean, what's crazy is Mississippi State kind of is the cellar dweller.
No, they
Even
are technically, but do you know what I mean? Like
I know. Well, what I
they're
was
not
going
the
to say
layup
is
they used to be.
they're 1-6 in conference, and they can beat anyone on a given day, right? They've played pretty much anyone that they've played. I mean, they've had some games that got away from them, but they've really challenged a lot of the best teams in the conference. So I know exactly what you're saying.
I did not expect you to have Missouri as your winner, but yeah, you rush for 326. Yeah.
It's really Ahmad Hardy is the winner. I
I
mean,
I thought you were gonna get into like Virginia. Chandler Morris back, Virginia back on track, baby.
here's the thing.
Uh oh.
That's a good. Hey, give them credit, but I don't think anyone in our audience gives a damn about Virginia, honestly,
Or Duke.
or Duke.
The only fun part about that game was if Duke won in the complete chaos that could ensue in the in the ACC, and that feels like that scenario is now dead with UVA's win over Duke. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
Georgia
I
Tech won. Now it was close against Boston College, but it seems like things are stabilizing over there with the ACC a bit.
Georgia Tech's got Pitt and Georgia left. I mean, we've seen Georgia Tech play Georgia really tight. Saw it last year. It was crazy. You think they got any shot in that game?
No,
Not the way Georgia looks different right now.
Georgia looks explosive offensively, and that's very, very scary.
I know.
Very scary. So it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the ACC. But maybe the scenario that we were all walking through, where they don't get a team in at all, I think that scenario has died.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got here from
You
you
think
talking about Ahmad Hardy, but here we are.
Georgia Tech, they're the best team in the ACC, right? Do you feel good about that or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
I love Haynes King, man.
I
I
know,
would
dude.
I would watch
That's a
that dude play
ball
college
player.
football for another 10 years if he could.
Ball player.
I SMU's pretty good too. They're only a one-loss team in the ACC. So it'll
Yep.
be I'm sure there's a breakdown of all the scenarios of who can play in the ACC championship game. We'll get to that in a couple of weeks. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, who do you have as your loser of the week?
Maybe like a game that was so fun to watch and then so difficult to watch. South Carolina, loser of the week.
Mm.
Is that crazy or what?
The saying, the tale of two halves,
Oh,
like this is underneath the saying in the sports encyclopedia. They should just put this game. I
Marcel
mean,
Reed, hot garbage in the first half. Horrible, terrible, bad.
should have thrown five interceptions in the first half, maybe.
Yeah, it was as ugly as it can get. And South Carolina goes into half 30-3. And that was it for them.
I, Texas A&M's defense figured some things out. I just the watching this collapse because we pretty much got to watch it all.
Yeah.
It was painful. I was hurting for our guy Beamer because you could just see it happening. And it was the moment, it was early in the third quarter, like very early. And this is where A&M was at in this game. It was 4th and 12 around midfield. And Elko was like, we got to go.
Yeah. It's like, this is the game.
And Marcel Reed scrambles and picks it up. And it felt like it was just all downhill from that play for South Carolina. Like that play broke their spirit somehow. And A&M even tried to help them out a little bit. Like they had a disastrous trick play down at the goal line where they direct snap it to a guy. He's throwing it out to Marcel Reed. It's like a backwards pass. It's just a disaster. But South Carolina wasn't able to do anything offensively in the second half.
No, it was ugly. They had everything working in the first half, and A&M was helping them out, turning it over, missing field goals. Harbor goes 80 and blows past everyone. It looked like South Carolina was just, it's like, okay, we're all wondering when is A&M going to have that game? Here it is against 1-7 in conference South Carolina, and then they turn it on. Marcel Reed starts making plays. And that's the thing about them is they are so dangerous quick strike, man. They got two, three guys that can turn your lights out in a one play drive. So they survive. And I felt very bad for Beamer. And it's as frustrating as you could have ever imagined watching the game. And then how many times are we going to see? And he's a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. But does Sellers not understand the concept of fourth down?
How you don't throw the ball up,
He's done that a bunch of times this year.
it's unbelievable.
Throw it over your head. Throw it as high as you can. Throw it as far as you can. Like you have like the game is over if you get tackled or run out of bounds on fourth down without getting the first. Wild.
Just a painful collapse for South Carolina. And credit to A&M. That is one of those games where Elko could have just said, "You know what, boys? We didn't have it today. Let's regroup. It's our first loss. But to their credit, they came out of the locker room swinging. And honestly, it was kind of surprising that they didn't win by double digits. Like, that's how much that game flipped.
And they tried to open the door. What was that play that they ran late that they fumbled on? What are they doing?
I don't know. It's one of those situations where you're like, dude, everything's been working offensively. Let's not do this.
What
Just
are we
give it to
doing?
Marcel Reed. Just put the ball in his hands.
Right there. Yeah.
But I don't
hey,
know.
They won the game. And who's A&M have next? They've got Texas in the final game. Oh, Samford.
I like their chances in that one.
Yeah.
I like their chances in that one a lot. We're going to be playing Missouri. They're going to be playing Sanford. Okay. Got it. Great. Okay. Yes. But still undefeated, man. I did not think I'm going to be real. I thought those days of teams being able to run the table in the SEC were kind of over. And it looked like they were definitely over with the way that first half unfolded. But credit to the Aggies still sitting there with the 0 in the loss column. That is impressive.
And here's the thing about A&M. They have played every team in the bottom of the SEC.
Correct. That was going around a lot of places when they were getting drug in the first half.
And it's their schedule. You know, what are you going to do? They've won all the games, but I guess my question is, are they as good as the record is?
Ted, I will counter your question with the question. What did I tell you on Friday night after I watched Texas A&M's offense against Missouri's defense?
You said that they're going to lose to Texas, and did you say they're going to lose to South Carolina?
I said, watch out. They may get beat by South Carolina.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff in Missouri's defense is good, but it's like some of the stuff, all they could really do for the first 3 quarters against Missouri was run speed sweep and throw bubble screens.
Yeah.
That's it. I think Marcel Reed, he does have some limitations. And their running game maybe isn't as dynamic as some people may think it is. I think they are very gettable. I do. When they get up, when they get matched up with another team that has similar talent to them, and it becomes a game of precision offensively, I think I think the list of teams that can beat A&M in a college football playoff is longer than people may think it is.
Yep.
But maybe that's just college football right now, dude.
True. I agree.
All right, let's finish up with my winner and loser. But first, if you're looking for tickets to OU's next game, SeatGeek is where y'all need to go. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Oklahoma Sooners. So all Sooners tickets on SeatGeek are authentic and secure, and every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. So go to SeatGeek.com or download the SeatGeek app and use our code BREAKDOWN10 for 10% off any tickets. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports festivals, and more. The app is extremely easy to use, and SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And remember, you can use code BREAKDOWN10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code BREAKDOWN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thanks, SeatGeek. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. All right, for my winner of the weekend, give me the Ole Miss Rebels. It was kind of interesting though against Florida, but
Very.
end up getting the job done 34-24. They were actually down 4 points going into the fourth quarter, but they did what good teams do and they finished strong in the fourth quarter. End up winning by 10. But the we want Lane chance at home when you're playing against the team that he may or may not want to go coach. I don't know. It was just like I respect the effort from Oxford's finest in the stands there. But yeah, just kind of a weird vibes game,
Yeah.
right? There was a lot surrounding this game, and to Ole Miss's credit, we know they had to have it to make the college football playoff, and they were ultimately able to do what they had to do in the second half, in that fourth quarter, and get the win. And now they're pretty much in to what they're 11-1, or wait, 10-1, and they've got a bye week and then Mississippi State left in the Egg Bowl. So it feels like Lane Kiffin and this Ole Miss team, they're kind of sitting there as a lock for the college football playoff. It's got to be a good feeling, man.
Yeah. It is. I my whole thing coming away from it, I just I know everyone thinks Lane Kiffin is leaving, and maybe he is. I have no idea. Maybe that's a guarantee that he's leaving, but it's like I still just think that Ole Miss is like what he's got there, like the whole situation. I just don't know why you'd leave and go to Florida, but I don't know. Credit them for getting the win with all kind of the weird stuff hanging over the top of it, and they've positioned themselves to make the playoff. And the only loss they've got is a tight one to Georgia on the road. So pretty good resume.
Yeah, and everyone like Lane Kiffin's future is clearly at the center of everything with Ole Miss right now, and he's kind of just dodging all those questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Ole Miss fans would love to hear him say something to the effect of, "I'm not taking the Florida job." He has not said anything like that.
You like just knowing his personality, even if he knows 100% that he's not, it feels like he just kind of likes the to just drag the troll out as long as possible. Even if it's like a done deal that he's staying, he's going to make everyone squirm as much as he can, right?
Yeah, I we'll see how it plays out, but it's hard to imagine he's going to make a decision while they're still in the mix.
Yeah.
So if you're Florida or LSU or whoever, the New York Giants,
I mean, I guess
the New York Giants,
you got the dart situation there, but who the hell wants that mess, you know?
I fair, fair. But I just it feels like everything's on the table. If they call you to say we'll give you 20 million, Lane, you may say, okay, that sounds nice.
Hey, there's a price. No
Yep.
matter who the team is, no matter what the situation is. Yeah, there's definitely a price.
A couple things from this game. Kimon Lacey's an absolute dude, man. 31 for 224 and 3 touchdowns. Speed, power, elusiveness, physicality. The guy is just, he's a heck of a running back. And the short yardage package where they direct snap it to him, maybe the most effective short yardage package in all of college football.
Yeah.
It feels like they never get stuffed doing it. I mean, it's impressive. And then I just I can't figure DJ Lagway out, man. There are some throws in this game where you just go, oh, my goodness. And then he does something where you're just like, dude, what are you doing? He was moving around the best I've seen him move around this season in this game, but he is just man, he is a frustrating player to watch. And it was another solid Jambliss performance. Just a
Yeah.
ho hum 301 yards passing and a touchdown.
Yeah, he
But
had he had that one interception that was bad, but
yeah,
outside of that,
He's
You know,
electric to watch, man. He
yeah,
is
he is.
just he's very, very entertaining to watch play football. But this stat is crazy. Florida has now lost 20 consecutive games away from Gainesville against ranked opponents.
Woo.
Last time they won a game against a ranked opponent away from Gainesville was they beat Georgia in Jacksonville in 2020.
Wow.
Been a while.
Dan Mullen year, huh?
Been a while. I
Wow.
been a while. Lagway. I can't figure that guy out, man.
I know.
Like he throws a deep ball to Sturdivant in that game. You're just like, oh, it's one of the best throws I've ever seen. And then he does something. You're just like, what are you doing? It's very frustrating. All right, my loser of the weekend. Give me the Louisville Cardinals. Had everything in front of them, man. Had it all. And that they were going to be right in the mix in the chaos of the ACC. And the end of this game can only be described as a beautiful disaster.
It was like watching a high school game.
We were watching it together, yelling at the television. And we had no rooting in the game, any interest in the game at all. It's Clemson and Louisville. We don't care. But the errors, the calamity of errors at the end of this football game was just something to behold.
It was great cinema, I'll say that.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to lose it, dude.
Not if you were a fan of either one of those teams. Oh my, I can't imagine what was going on in those living rooms. It was wild.
If you didn't see it, Louisville, they missed what is it was a long field goal. It was like a 50-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Clemson gets the ball back. They end up having to punt. The deep snapper bounces it to the punter, who can barely corral it. He gets tackled. Louisville takes over at the plus 23. And then on their second down play of the drive, they have an offensive lineman get a personal foul for pushing a guy late, which leads to them in being in 3rd and 29. Jeff Brom decides to change kickers on a 46-yard field goal attempt because they actually pick up a nice chunk. And that kick never had a chance, Ted. Never had a chance.
No. And it's like all of this happens in like such a short span. Clemson's got the 1-point lead. They take this a sack. It was a bad sack. And then they, turn it over on downs by the bounce passing it. And it's like, you feel like the game, like Louisville's about to win the game. I mean, they got the ball in Clemson territory, a first down or two, and they go backwards 20 yards.
Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Louisville lost the Cal last week. I shouldn't have a ton of faith in that team, but they were in solid position to make the ACC championship game. They had the loss to Virginia, but they had the win over Miami. They still have SMU on the schedule. Like, they were feeling good about things, and then zombie Clemson got them. The end of that game was just, oh my gosh. It was brutal and beautiful all at the same time. It's just, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
And it's crazy because you watch Clemson and there are some dudes on that football team, man. That's a 5-5 football team. It's like, how in the ACC are you 5-5? You probably got, there's multiple first rounders.
You know how you're 5-5 in your Clemson? You're trying to hand it to defensive linemen on the goal line. That's how you end up being 5-5. And you do it twice. It's like Klubnik hands it to him, uh, and then they do it again. And the guy clearly is not expecting the ball, and Klubnik tries to hand it to him again. It's clearly not the play. Dabo's on the sideline going, "What is this guy doing?" That's how you go 5-5. It was to say they had, you call them blunders. That goal line sequence for Clemson, I mean, they hand it to a defensive lineman. He fumbles it on the third down play. They run something very similar, and Cade Klubnik is obviously not supposed to hand it to the guy again and tries to hand it to him. It's crazy, dude. There were some things in this game that were unbelievable in the worst way.
Oh man, it's wild that their
And they
offense.
were down 6 points at the time of this sequence on the goal line. Like it was 19-13. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my gosh.
It's crazy that Clemson is 5-5, and I mean, got handed this game on a platter. They were a shoe-in for most people. I picked them as the easiest playoff, highest percentage playoff team in college football with their schedule and the defensive guys they had coming back, and Klubnik, coming off of a solid season, looked like if he takes another step, he was a Heisman candidate early on. He's had a horrible year.
I it's hard to imagine. Now, Garrett Nussmeier has entered the chat, but it's hard to imagine that a quarterback stock has plummeted more than Cade Klubnik's has this season. It's been rough, dude.
Rough.
Clemson won this game. They were 1 of 13 on third down and won the game on the road. And shout out to Louisville running back Kewan Brown. I thought he was really good. He had some extremely physical finishes to some runs in this game.
Yeah.
But and I have been these last couple of years, I've been very critical of Clemson on here. And I feel justified in it. Like I don't think Dabo Swinney is doing everything he can do to have the best team possible. And I think that's a big reason of why they are at where they're at. But there's you got to appreciate the consistency. I saw the stat from ESPN. The last team to beat Clemson back-to-back years was Florida State when they beat them 3 times, 2012 through 2014.
When
The
they
level
won a
of
national championship, Florida State
yeah,
did.
the level of consistency that Clemson has had is it's admirable. That being said, I think the days of them being a real contender are over until, and I've said this a lot in here, until they change their roster building philosophy.
And that's going to be hard to do. Like, you've basically let the race go on for 3 years while you're still standing on the starting line. So,
Oh, no, Ted. They took like 2 transfers. They're doing great. Dabo's changed. They're 5-5, and Dabo's acting like they won the national championship after beating Louisville on the road on a Friday night.
I know. And it's
Which
crazy.
that's he should have been very happy. It was
Right.
like
It's just strange, though, that, you look at what they've done. I mean, I think they had one 9-4 year mixed in there. And whenever they had that year, it was like the fan base wanted to fire him. Everyone was upset. And they're 5-5 right now, and you don't hear any of the talk. It's crazy.
only other thing from this game. Louisville Cardinal logo of him doing the Heisman pose when they only have one Heisman winner in the history of the school. Strange.
What was the deal with that? It's
I,
not like the anniversary or anything. Like 10 years would be next year, right? He won it in
I
16.
is that like an old school Louisville logo that we just don't know about?
Maybe. I
Those are
don't
like a
know.
throwback.
Perhaps.
It was like a blackout, and the Cardinal is wearing a sweater doing the Heisman pose. I don't know. It's just it gave me a giggle when we turned the game on, and I was like, "Whoa, look at that logo at midfield. That's a Cardinal doing the Heisman pose." And I know they've learned it before, but it looks, it feels silly when they lose the game the way that they did, you know?
Yeah, I felt bad. I mean, their poor coaching staff over there with those blunders. Oh my goodness.
Oof. Birthday shout outs. Welcome to the world, Charlie J. Guston.
Happy fifth birthday to Everly Ann Bumgardner.
Happy 8th birthday to Sloan Massey.
Happy 14th birthday to Josh Ferguson.
Happy 36th birthday to Chase B.
Happy birthday to Carrie Musgrove.
Happy birthday to Sarah Stewart.
And happy birthday to Blake Adams.
On that note, episode 581 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Of course, we will preview the matchup between OU and Missouri. Another big one, man.
Big one.
And it
Tough
feels very big now.
11 a.m. kick.
I don't care. Do what you got to. There's no fan base in the country that's more prepared to be lubed up and ready to roll for an 11 a.m.er than this fan base.
Let's get it rolling. Let's get
after it. Let's get after it. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, check out our website, okbreakdown.com. We hope you all have a great start to your week. Until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.